Let's look at their story, their art, their culture, their music, their wants, their wins, their losses. Let's go there. There's more to Kashmir than what I think we've been told.
Trolled for social media, you can be trolled for anything. You can be trolled for wearing a hat or wearing a
For existing.
for anything. Yeah. So this is not an issue.
Millions of women who do domestic labor every day for free, which is not accounted for at all. In other countries like in Scandinavian countries now, women are paid for what they contribute in domestic labor, which is like, oh, she doesn't work. Actually she's running a home. So there's women are constantly struggling to kind of say, hey, we exist.
I was very fortunate. I went to a great school. So I didn't really have any, I had a very free life. It was when I grew older that I realized that everybody doesn't have a life like me.
Now, if I didn't have parents like that, would I have had the gumption to do what Raj Begum did back in the 40s, back in the 50s, where she got up and she said, and she came from nowhere, where she's like, I am going to become a musician and come in my way, try and come in my way. What an incredible woman. And that was back then. I'm saying now, if my parents were in my way, would I be able to do it? I'm not sure.
Hi, this is Samina Sheikh here on Zoom channel, and with me right now I have the star cast of Songs of Paradise, and join me as I welcome all of them only on Zoom, not only the star cast but also the director. This subject is very delicate. When you touch a subject like this, when you speak about someone who has been in a conservative setup, trying to grow and evolve as a woman especially, and when you speak about that setup, Kashmiri Muslims, they have been through their own hurdles of life. What made you touch a subject like this?
Absolutely, I was inspired by her for Raj Begum. As the film is inspired by her journey and her music. I was absolutely inspired by her courage and journey and how she fought for her, aspiration for music. And she didn't care about anybody. She became a legend. It right away was so inspiring to me as a filmmaker. On top of that, of course, the music, her songs were the biggest inspiration to be able to make this film. So, and people haven't seen such narratives coming from Kashmir. So I think this is one of the first ones, and I hope this opens doors for more narratives like these from Kashmir.
And I love the way the entire movie plays, because the music is very, mellowed down, and when there are some, tensions taking place, and at that time it's like literally, loud. And at the same time, the way the characters have got, both the characters, the young and how it evolves basically, have got support from the character called Azad. I think that was very beautiful that, on one side we see that, women are facing such struggles and hurdles. On the other side, there is a man who is trying to support them. I have to ask you, and, you, both of you, how it was portraying a character like that.
I would say it was a bit intimidating to begin with, a little bit of challenge, because, when you're offered a role of a person who's had a life and who is so prolific in their achievements, you don't want to get it wrong. And when I was working on it, I was like, oh my God, I think I'm going to mess this up completely, because it's such a responsibility. And I think the language is also a challenge, because even though I'm part Kashmiri, I don't speak the language, contrary to what a lot of people think. So for me, I have to work as hard as anybody else to get the, things right. And I'm that way, a little bit of a perfectionist. I don't like to get it wrong. So, so it was, but the thing is, when you're in this profession, you love a challenge. I mean, what's the point of it otherwise, right? So that was the beauty of it, and the fact that you had this responsibility to bring the story to the world. I felt that was a huge privilege, and I was very excited to do it. Then when we got to Kashmir, the locations that we shot in, and the people we worked with, and the rest of the cast, they were so wonderful. So I felt so happy while I was doing this role, that I'm able to explore the life of somebody whom nobody knows anything about, unfortunately, but this is a fact. And we are now in the privileged position of bringing this story to the rest of the world, not just India, but the world. Yeah. And I think that is a huge, huge honor.
Yeah. What do you have to say about it?
I agree entirely. I think Soni has kind of summed it up really, really well. That it's an honor, a responsibility. It's a person who's, it's a living legend, a person who's been around, who is here, and, to play a real life character and to be inspired by their music, to carry their music to the world is a huge responsibility. And I think also that, not enough stories get told about Kashmir, at least not the humankind. Not ones about the light, not ones about winning, not ones about music and art and culture. And I think this was
First one.
this was possibly the first musical to come out of Kashmir that is not about the strife that its people face. So I think it's also a very important film, in that it's kind of saying that, hey, let's look at the human beings of the region. Let's look at their story, their art, their culture, their music, their wants, their wins, their losses. Let's go there. There's more to Kashmir than what I think we've been told. So, and Danish really wrote such a beautiful script. I really also loved how the male characters were allies in Danish's. In an ideal world, I believe Danish is an ally. So, how he writes his male characters as his women are front and central, and the men are there for support. They're propping the women up, and may there be more men like that. Like Danish's imagination. See there, try multiply and
But even Raj Begum, she was supported by her father, at that time, at that era, which was
wild, right?
Plus, her introduction itself is so beautiful that, her father is supporting her secretly that, okay, you go and you do it. And, the way she is running and she's like coming and telling
her talent. But I think also what coming to what you've been talking about also, it is music and it is art and it is culture which connects people and dispels. So it connects people and dispels a lot of falsehoods and myths about things. So I think music is a wonderful
tool,
joining influence, and I feel this film will have does have that power.
Which one thing also which it beautifully showcased was the way the bargaining continues, even when she is like kind of, trying to be in the world of, music. And after years, when you take over and you're like the paycheck, basically, like the kind of debate, around that. And, women always find that struggles, that they're not paid as compared to their male counterparts. This is a debate which is happening not only in media industry also, but also, like in the entertainment industry. What are your thoughts on that?
It's not just entertainment industry.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Few places maybe not, but most places I think women are still struggling for that. And I think look at it. We are coming from cities where I think we're just much better off. But look at the rest of the country. There are small towns. There are villages. Of course, villages is different. But small towns also, women have always been paid. I mean, having the same struggle that this character goes through in this film, to self-actualization, to fulfilling her dream. A lot of women still go through this struggle.
Yeah, not taking into account the millions of women who do domestic labor every day for free, which is not accounted for at all. In other countries like, in Scandinavian countries now, women are paid for what they contribute in domestic labor, which is like, oh, she doesn't work, actually she's running a home. So there's, women are constantly struggling to kind of say, hey, we exist. And we're here and, we're relevant and we deserve what we deserve. That's a constant fight. And I can't say, I mean, it's better, but I can't say it is where it should be. We have a long, long road ahead of us.
But also want to add this, the great thing about this film is we're talking about a woman from 1940s and 50s who had that sort of, who fought for empowerment, not just for herself. That was too. She opened doors for other women. She was the first female Radio Kashmir prominent playback singer. So imagine her courage and bravery that we have, at that era. So we're just celebrating that strong will and courage.
And that comes to this one of the scene also, when a lady approaches you, when other ladies also come across and they also say that they want to participate and get into singing, but at the same time one lady comes to you and says that would you prefer, what's your take on burqa basically, what do you have to say, and you answer it very maturely. And this is one concern which is happening even now in London. There are debates taking place on social media and people are facing those challenges. Women are facing those challenges, especially women. The way they dress, even if they're wearing a bikini, it becomes a debate topic. Even if they wear a burqa, if a veil, basically it feels like they're controlled basically. What are your thoughts on
When did a woman have agency over her body? Everybody else seems to be deciding what she should be wearing, what she should be doing, what she should be, eating, how she should be behaving, how her body should look, how it should not look. It's when did a woman have agency over anything to do with her life? So I mean, this is not new, and it's nothing out of the ordinary. It's abhorrent, it's awful, but it's very much been around forever. And I think these debates keep, almost in a cyclical manner, keep going and keep going and keep going, And I think that's also divisive patriarchy, to keep women entangled in these things where, honestly, there's a lot more a woman can achieve when you don't have her entangled in, what is trending and what is, what body type is trending right now. And, these are all devices to keep women in their pocket, where patriarchy wants them.
To both of you, what are those social barriers you have faced while growing up in an Indian society that you felt like probably?
To be honest, I grew up in Bombay. I had a very, I would say, in that way, westernized upbringing. And I was very fortunate. I went to a great school. So I didn't really have any, I had a very free life. It was when I grew older that I realized that everybody doesn't have a life like me. And I'm like, oh my God, and I couldn't understand girls who were frightened or, didn't have this, have the gumption that I had, for example, because I was given that power by my family, and they were not. And then I was like, but you can just do what you feel like doing. And they said, but it's not that simple.
Yeah.
And it's only then that you realize that there are many different things operating against, keeping, as you said, keeping women in the place that people want them to be kept in the boxes that they were supposed to be kept in.
How about you, Sabha? Like, any such challenges did you feel like you feel?
Again, I think Soni and I have had a similar kind of, background as far as upbringing goes, supportive parents, by and large supportive, progressive parents. So not much to kind of contend with, but I think it's so easy to forget, when you're in your kind of echo chamber, that, the rest of the world hasn't. And also, I wonder sometimes, had I not had the progressive parents that I had, who were incredibly encouraging of everything I wanted to do, whatever that may be, मुझे कल बावर्ची बनना है, फिर PT Usha बनना है, फिर अगले दिन कुछ और बनना है, and they were like, बेटा जो करना है करो, but do it well and enjoy yourself and make sure you're independent. Now, if I didn't have parents like that, would I have had the gumption to do what Raj Begum did back in the 40s, back in the 50s, where she got up and she said, and she came from nowhere, where she's like, I am going to become a musician and come in my way, try and come in my way. What an incredible woman. Yeah. And that was back then. I'm saying now, if my parents were in my way, would I be able to do it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would have had that strength. So what an honor to be able to tell this story about a woman who was actually all odds stacked against her. All odds stacked against her. And for the love of music and her craft, she went the whole hog.
And lastly, two questions to you, both of you. You have always spoken about social issues also, but that has landed you in, social media trolling. And similarly for you, when Sabha, you started off your career over the years, basically, and it's not like you have just worked. But when you spoke about, being with someone, you were kind of losing work, which you spoke about, on social media. Do you feel that itself, it's like too much getting personal with an artist's life also happens a lot, which needs a kind of a control?
You don't have to be trolled for social media. You can be trolled for anything. You can be trolled for wearing a hat or
for existing.
For anything, yeah. So this is not an issue. This is not a problem.
This is like basically now you're kind of, it happens basically. You just take it as a part.
You cannot be who you are. You have to, and that is, I think, the theme of our film also.
But I feel like even this, and that reminds me, by the way, even in this movie when I saw, this was this one thing where even when she's facing the challenges with the people around, when they come to their home, and they're like, your daughter is like, XYZ kind of a thing. The picture has come out, and what do you have to say? I think that those are the same people kind of like coming on social media too, in a way. What do you have to say, Sabha? You have faced challenges while getting.
I think exactly what Sony said. Exactly. I agree with you entirely. Yeah.
And lastly, to you, she has got support from her husband. She didn't get that support from the mother, which has shown like who is focusing on that, marriage all the time.
Yeah.
How was it, to portray that character for you? Because it's a challenging scenario when you don't get support from parents.
Yeah, I think it's a society. We're talking about 1940s, a very conservative society where, even the mother, when she loves her daughter, but she's facing this community, she has to face the community and she has to make decisions based on that. And that's what she's scared of. And you see the transformation, right? When she realizes she's a talent and she realizes that she was wrong. We also have that. But it's very common to have that kind of mentality from her perspective because she lives in that.
She's in that.
Yeah, in that community. I mean, women were not allowed to sing and dance or forget about being a playback singer for Radio Kashmir. How would she accept it in her world, right? I think Shiba Chadda has done a fantastic job portraying that character. I'm a fan and I was so grateful that how we managed her dates, you have no idea, but I really wanted her to play that character and she's nailed it with the accent, like right on spot. With the performance and, she's an antagonist. But, it's not overdone, That's a normal world. That's a normal world.
You empathize with her because she's a mother. Yeah.
How you written?
And you also feel like, how much she doesn't know, basically, even if she's trying to explain it, doesn't make sense.
And it's her daughter that teaches her. And it's her daughter that wants.
This is human drama, really, And lastly,
Relatable, yeah.
Lastly, before I let all of you go, what are your upcoming projects apart from this one?
Focus on.
Let's talk about it.
Can't tell you. It's a secret. Lovely chatting with all of you. Thank you so much for such a lovely interaction and all the very best for this one.
Thank you. Thank you so much.